Good afternoon, everybody. Mainstays here once again. It is Tuesday, November 11, 2025. Heating season is officially upon us as of now. We've seen the last of summer temperatures. People are putting their air conditioners away. Some are even putting their fans away for the cooling season. Today I am going to be doing a clean and service of my Mainstays Quartz Frared Stove heater here, as I said I was going to do in the last video that I did of it. This heater's about, maybe to 3 or 4 years old. I do know that it was in sometime in 2021 when my mother purchased this heater. It's been through quite a lot, and as you can see there on the bottom, the leg unfortunately has come off. Doesn't seem like it's broke or anything, but I'm going to figure out how I'm going to reattach it. Knob is missing as well, but I can still open the door and everything. I don't think this thing has been cleaned one time since we've had it. And I'll let you have a look at the heater down here. Maybe you can see that. Yeah, that's pretty dirty. Shouldn't be too difficult to clean. I watched a few tutorials on how to clean these, and it's really not that hard. I'm also going to take the rest of the heater itself apart, and I'm going to see if I can fix the lighting on the inside. I may have another bulb that I can fit into it, and if not, I can bear with it until I can just find a new one. These heaters are excellent performers, not so much as the best in quality. Not the most durable. I mean, these things weigh at least about 5 to 10 pounds. They are not heavy whatsoever. I think this is like it's not plastic. At least I don't think. It's like a really thin aluminum material. It's definitely not steel. Pretty sure that these are still being sourced here and there. I think it was around the late 2010s, somewhere between 2016 and 2019, when these were everywhere in stores and whatnot. Of course, this is what I will be using this year here in my bedroom. So, I'm just going to disassemble it. This is basically just held on with screws, and all I need to do is to get that off, have a look at the inside, get everything cleaned up, see what condition the fan is in, if it needs to be serviced. Maybe I'll, if need be, I will do so. So, go ahead and we'll get this thing disassembled. This is what I'm going to be using to put the screws in. These little cereal boxes come in handy. These soup cans and chewing gum packs and all of that other stuff, hold on to those as much as possible, because they do come in handy for stuff like this. But anyway, here is the heater here. And yeah, it's pretty dirty. Hopefully the lighting in here is okay. Okay, so it looks like, let me see if I have this in the right angle. Get a good shot of this. Alright, there we go. Maybe I'll put it right. Alright, let me get that adjusted. Okay. Here, I'll turn the lighting on. There should be just enough power on the phone. It was on 75%, so okay. So it appears that this is held on with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. And I'm going to have to be very careful getting these screws out, because with this being so thin like it is, I definitely don't want to strip those out. I'm gonna, before I go any further, taking this there in the corner, where I'm gonna have more room to work here. Just put this. This right here. Much better. I want to make sure that I can catch that fan when I get these screws out. Some of you are probably laughing at me of how I'm handling this. And that's alright. Just have my own way of doing things. Sitting right there to where I don't knock them over. Definitely don't want to use those. Where's this thing? Oh yeah. Okay. I thought there were just 5 screws, but I think there's like 6 screws. There's 3 on this side and there's 3 on the other, so that's 6. Oh, jeez. Alright, I'll have to get back to that one. I'll find it. Okay. I think there's one more. Down here. Just put that on its side. Alright. Alright. I'm gonna have to stop the video for a minute to figure this out. Okay, so I have the heater there, unattached from the heater. From where the wires are coming in, it's making it harder for me to get it out, so I'm gonna remove the back here and I'm gonna see if those wires will come loose from the terminals. So then I can get it off and I can get it cleaned up and serviced. If not, then it's fine. I'll just do the best I can with what I've got. backside of this back cover is like a burnt orange color. That's interesting. Okay, so here is, you look at the inside here. Okay, so there's the heater. The thing is pretty dirty. You see from the wires that go up into here. That's the bulb. This is what this powers on, and this rotates and it reflects off of to this right here, and that's what lights it up. Pretty neat if you ask me. So there's the circuit board in there. It controls the lighting and the other mechanisms. Be nice if I had easier access to getting to that fan. I mean, it's still free spinning. See if we can look at the motor in there. Alright. A little C-frame shaded pulled motor. And I think those wires down there, those conductors, they go to the controls here on the front. I don't know how that's that's done. I don't know if that was soldered on. I mean, I really don't feel like, doing a bunch of messing around and getting this whole thing taken apart. I just want to do a clean service here because I'm going to be needing this thing. So as of now, and what would be best is that I'm just going to get all this cleaned up, and I'm going to see how this functions here on the inside. And maybe I can do something about the lighting, the heating here on the inside. It's not something that I particularly need, as my main focus as of now is getting the heater cleaned up. I need that. That's what I need, working. That's the main thing. So I'm gonna use this. First, I'm just gonna take a vacuum and I'm gonna clean that all out, and then I'll blow it out with this compressed air here. So you know something? I think I found the problem. Look on the bottom here where there's these screws. Maybe if I screw this back on and undo this. Am I thinking right here, or am I thinking too hard? Okay. Okay, so I think I finally got this all figured out. What I did is that I kind of did everything sort of backwards. I could have just unloosened these and then pulled this out first, because this is basically just attached to this box. Okay, so I guess it really doesn't matter either way. I mean, it took me a minute to figure that out. I should know which screws. I should know exactly where they go where. Let me stop this. I don't want to bore you guys with this. Okay, so it was just like I said. This box just comes right out. Yeah, that thing is really nasty. There. Okay. Should have easier access to the heater here. Let's have a closer look at that. Okay. Okay, so here's the heater. There's the fan. Maybe I can service this. It shouldn't be too hard to do. There's the wiring that goes to the heating elements. Okay, so the first course of action is to get this thing cleaned. So I'm going to get the vacuum, and then I will use the compressed air. automatic. Okay. Alright. So that cleaned up well for the most part. Fan is still caked up with dirt and dust as a result of years of dust buildup and lack of maintenance. Of course, when this fell into my handy hands, it's getting exactly what it deserves now. So, that's the main thing. Okay. Need to figure out how this comes apart because I need to. I'm going to try to get that fan apart. Oh crap, not good. To be very, very careful here because I just now. You see how easy that freaking bends? Like I said, very poor quality. I'll try not to wreck this before I even have the chance to use it. Okay. It should come apart like this. Okay, so I'm gonna take that out to where it's easier to work here. Okay. Okay, so there's the bearing. It doesn't look too bad, but it's definitely getting some oil. Not too concerned about getting that out. My main concern is just lubricating this. I think that fan is cleaned up enough to where it's going to do its job. Okay, so apply a little bit there to the shaft. Good enough. Taking to put that back on. Alright. Okay, so that's good and free spinning. Clean that off a little bit more. Okay. Maybe I just had to oil it from that one side. Okay, so that pretty much does it for the fan here. Now I can get that, all I need to do is to get that put back together. So I'll go ahead and I'll stop the video. Alright, so now I have the heater reinstalled. That cleaned up well, and I had to do that off screen because that was sort of a little aggravating to get put back on. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is that I'm going to get this leg reattached. You see these right here? These are mounted on with these plastic nuts here on each side. One of them broke in the process of being, oh, look at that, straighten them all right. In the process of being stored away in the building, and that just broke off as I was in here doing some work here a while back. I think I found of a way of how I can a quick, easy repair for this. I'm going to try to reattach it with this bolt and screw here. Hopefully that should work. It's going to be wide enough to where that's going to hold, and it's not going to slip through that entry point. Okay. Alright. Maybe I can reach down in there. These wires are sort of blocking it out. Maybe I can do it, I don't know. Or if need be, I'll just have to put the screw in through the other side. See if I can try to do it that way. No, doesn't look like it. It's too narrow down in there. Okay, so I'll just find me. Okay, so I got that screw back on. A little wobbly. I mean, these are all kind of wobbly, not the most sturdy, but I think it'll hold just fine. Okay, so so the final thing that I need to do is just get the inside cleaned out. Plug the heater in. Okay, so here's a look at the inside of the mechanisms here. Okay, so it looks like there's 2 bulbs on each side here. Huh. I was kind of thinking that there would be like a bulb or something in here that I could change. Wait a minute. Okay, so here's the flame brightness. Okay, so there's a light here on the bottom, and these reflect through this, and I'm assuming that that is what contrasts the flame brightness. Not exactly sure how that comes out or if it can be replaced. Like I said, I'm really not too concerned about it. I mean, this part is still working just fine. Okay. I'm going to get this front side cleaned, and I can get this put back together, and it'll be good to go. Okay, so now it is time to test the heater. Make sure that everything is working properly. This is where the heater is going to be sitting. Alright. Okay. We have the flame turned on. Now let's turn the heat on. There's the thermostat. Okay, so that's low. Okay, so this is high. And that's low. Heat seems to be working. It's taking its own sweet time getting up to speed, but typical for a heater sitting around all year round. Thermostat's working. Really not much of anything I can do with the flame adjustment. Like I said, I'm really not too worried about it. Let's turn this overhead light off. Alright. So the heater seems to be working well. Yep. Here's a look at the element. Get it off the tripod.